Bro, what I'm about to tell you is honestly going to change your life. Like, please just take me seriously, right? The concepts that I'm going to introduce you today, bro, it's going to actually click in your mind. It's going to tell your brain to actually take me seriously, right? You need to understand this concept that I'm going to tell you. It's about momentum. Everything in life is just comes ties back to this core principle of momentum. Is the momentum is like the idea of like when things are in motion, they tend to keep going in motion. It's like Newton's like whatever law, like I forgot, bro. But anyway, but like, bro, the law of momentum is basically when you do something, you are more likely to do it again and again and again and again. And you can link this to literally anything. And when you understand this like principle, this fundamental principle that governs your life, bro, you make so much faster progress in like yourself because you wanted to improve your life for how long? You've been trying to like do all of these good habits. You've been trying to quit these bad habits, but you just don't have like the knowledge to quit fast. So here's like one of the most important things I could ever teach you: momentum, right? So like basically, momentum is like this idea of like when you do a bad habit, you're more likely to keep doing the bad habit. Like, how does this link to you? Well, okay, you goon once, and then you goon twice, and then you goon three times, and you keep gooning. Bro, that is momentum. It's momentum, but in the negative direction. You have what is called negative momentum. You keep doing the bad habit. You cannot get out of this cycle, this effect, this domino effect of gooning, of bad habits. Like you do it once, and then your mind thinks, oh, okay, I've already reset my streak, so I might as well. Number two, number three, number four, number five, bro. You keep slinking into bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger times of literally progress deprivation, a time where you don't make any progress. You've been trying to improve your life, but you don't like understand this concept of momentum. So therefore, you will always slink back into bad habits. Why? Because you've tried to quit video games. You quit for 1, 2, 3 days because you know it's bad for you. Like you get like a motivation insight, like you're scrolling or some shit, and like the short or the TikTok whatever tells you, oh yeah, video games are bad, and you should go to the gym, and you try it. You like, genuinely like I respect you for this. You actually tried to quit, but the problem is you tried to quit. That's the problem. You tried to quit. That's very interesting. Like you're probably looking at me like, yeah, but isn't that the point? Like you're meant to try to quit. No, 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 no. Because everyone who's tried to quit a bad habit is just swimming upstream. It always feels like every time you try to quit a bad habit, why does it always feel like you're fighting uphill? Like you're running uphill. You're trying to swim upstream. Why? Why does it why do you think there's like a force? Like you feel like a level of like resistance to like you improving your life. Why? Why do you think that there's a level of resistance? It's because you are trying to improve your life, right? You're trying to go forward in life, but the momentum, the direction of like your negative momentum is pointing this way. So when you're going against momentum, that is the resistance that you feel. So the biggest tactic, like the fastest tactic to actually improve your life, you just need momentum in this direction, in the direction that you want to take your life in. Because if you have momentum acting against you, of course there's going to be resistance. Of course there's going to be like you always snap back to the bad habit. Like you try to quit gooning, day 1, day 2, day 3, relapse. Day 7, relapse. Day 2, relapse. Day 4, relapse. Because you are trying to quit the bad habit while you have these resistances against you. You're swimming upstream. So how do you make it that like the momentum acts with you? The point is, currently, step 1, you need to realize that you are in a rut. A rut, R-U-T. Write that word down. A rut is basically a period of like basically where you're making no progress. It's a period, it's a cycle where you are getting stuck in bad habits, in endless loops of dopamine addiction, of endless loops of video game addiction. All of these bad habits, you're addicted. You can't quit. You can't quit. You try to quit. You try to quit. You can't quit. because you're addicted to these bad habits, right? You're in that cycle. That is a rot. You need to, step one, how do you fix the problem? You acknowledge that you have a problem. Like that, you need to acknowledge this right now. As we speak, right now, look at me in my eyes. Just say to yourself, bro, yes, I am not achieving my fullest potential currently, and I want to achieve my fullest potential. That is step one. Because when you acknowledge that, that is half of the work done. You've done half of the work. You've made 50% progress already. Think about that. If you say that in your mind right now and acknowledge to yourself that you are not where you want to be in life currently, you've made 50% progress. Like, you've already made so much progress, right? After that, now you take action in order to reverse the circumstance. Because currently you're in a circumstance that you do not like. You don't like the physique that you have. You don't like how you look. You don't like how you feel. You don't like how you move. You don't like all of these things about yourself. So how do you fix it? You change your circumstance. How do you change your circumstance? You understand this concept of momentum, right? So momentum is a double-edged sword. It can act against you, like right now, for example, you're trying to make progress. You're trying to like make progress in self-improvement. You don't even think self-improvement works fully because you haven't experienced the fullest potential of yourself just yet. Because basically you've tried self-improvement wrong. Like how self-improvement is taught online is so like, it's beyond me. Like it's so retarded how it's taught. But like, this is the real self-improvement. You need to understand the basics, the fundamentals. Because every single sport, think about it, every single sport, every single like game has fundamentals. It has the basic attacks. You need to rewire your idea of fundamentals. You need to rewire what it means to improve yourself. Because you think improving yourself is replicating what you see on Instagram, what you see on TikTok, what you see on all of these like platforms of people with like the Ashton Hall routine, waking up, drinking cold water, plunging your face in the cold water, and then reading the Bible, journaling, or like all of it, like this full routine. No. Self-improvement for them maybe is that. But for you, at a beginner level, no offense, like you are, like I would consider you a beginner, you are not at that level. You are simply not at that level to wake up, to study for 2 hours, to read the Bible, to journal, to meditate for 1 hour, and like do all of these things that's preached online. Go gym, do 1,000 push-ups, like all of these things, right? You are not at that level. So if you keep trying to do these things when you are not currently at that level, it's like the equivalent of you. Like, imagine you're in Minecraft, right? Like, you play Minecraft, this game, or like any video game. You have no armor, you have no helmet, you have nothing, and you go try to kill the Ender Dragon. Like, are you stupid? Like, do you see how retarded this is? Like, you go and try kill like wither skeletons with no armor. Imagine that. Literally imagine that. You tried to go kill a poisonous spider, like all of these big monsters, without any armor, without any, like, you have a stone sword. Are you serious? Because that's the equivalent of what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to replicate what you see on Instagram and all of these platforms, but you're not at that level. So what would you tell the person who's going to the gym, right? And he's trying to bench 100 kg, but he can't even bench 50. And he keeps trying to bench 100 kg, and he keeps getting injuries. And then he says to himself, oh, I didn't bench 100 kg today, so I'm gonna bench 110 kg tomorrow. You'd say to him like, bro, are you stupid? Like, you can't even bench 100 kg, and you're going to like try and bench 110 tomorrow. Like, how retarded does that seem? Because this is the thought pattern like I see people like me and like basically you get into. It's like they try to replicate what they see online, which is fake, by the way. Like, whatever you see online is most probably their best highlights. Like, you're seeing the best highlights of someone's day. You're seeing like basically the perfectly edited, the perfectly recorded version of their day. But in reality, it's not as good as they make it seem. So what you need to understand is you're not at that level. You've tried to improve your life, but your ego is preventing you from improving your life, because you think improving your life is doing all of these good habits simultaneously in the same day. But you need to understand that improving your life can literally just be as simple as you sitting down and doing 10 push-ups right now, or you sitting down and meditating for literally 30 seconds. Because if I ask you a question right now, have you meditated for the past 7 days? You would say no. Most probably you would say no. So if I asked you to meditate 10 seconds right now, you wouldn't do it. Why wouldn't you do it? Because you think, oh, but I need to meditate for 10, 15 minutes. No. You are not at that level. If you meditate 10 seconds right now, that's more than you've done the entire week. Hence, you have made progress. So that is the concept I want you to understand. And this is how momentum works. In order for you to gain momentum, you need to start with something small. You cannot start like slaying the big dragons just yet. You are not at that level, but you can slay the chickens. You can slay the pigs and the cows, and you can slay like the villagers. Like, you can start with the small things, because it is when you start with the small things and you make progress. For example, this is how my day works, right? I have a routine that I need to stick to, because I've designed a routine that makes me all of the progress that I want, right? Now I just need to stick to this routine. How do I do it? Basically, I wake up and I meditate. But I say to myself, the level of success, the bar to success is very low. If I meditate 30 seconds a day, that's progress. That's progress. I've done something today. You should have that feeling of accomplishment when you do even the smallest of things. Like, think about this, right? Why do you think every successful person is known to make their bed? Like, making their bed won't directly make them successful. Like, you can agree with that. But the thing is, making their bed is still a staple part of their routine. Why do you think? It is because of this principle that we're going to call momentum. When you make your bed, you gain momentum. You get that winner's effect. You get the effect of being a winner. You can turn on the feeling of being a winner. This is your birthright, right? As human being, you have the feeling, like you have emotions. You have the ability to control your emotions. So therefore, you can literally, as we speak, turn on the feeling of being a winner. If you do even like 2 push-ups right now, even if you can't do push-ups, if you do push-ups on your knees, if you do wall push-ups, you can convince yourself in a weird delusion almost. And you can convince yourself, yeah, that was a win. What I just did there was a win. You can literally do that. That is your right as a human. You can do that. And that win will lead to bigger wins, and even bigger and bigger and higher and higher and higher. You will get more wins. You will get more wins. And then basically what will happen is you feel like you've accomplished everything you wanted in the day, and then you look forward to the next day, because this is how momentum works. And right now you've been trying to kill the big bosses that you can't yet, so you've gained momentum in the negative direction. You've got the loser's effect. You've gained momentum in the direction of losing, because when you lose one, you're more likely to lose the next, and the next, and the next, and then you go on a losing streak. It works both ways. Think about this, right? So when you lose a game, in a video game, for example, you lose a game, you're more likely to lose next game, and the next game, and then you get something called tilted. Like, if you're a video gamer, you should know this term, tilted. Like, you get tilted, your mental is like destroyed, and you keep thinking, so, bro, I lost so much elo, I've D-ranked today, I feel like so bad today, because you've not made progress today, and you've actually lost progress today. That is momentum just acting against you, and this is why you feel an upstream battle. Stop making the day hard for yourself. You are not at that level to replicate what you see on Instagram. Simply, like this is the concept that I'm trying to explain to you. You are simply not at that level. You can get to that level. Of course you can. Like there is a 100% guarantee you'll be in that level if you keep making progress and you keep consistently like showing up and you keep consistently like following the principles of momentum. But the thing is, you need to acknowledge to yourself, you are not at that level. Okay? You are not at that level. You are at the level to meditate for 30 seconds today. And then tomorrow, you can meditate for 1 minute. And then you can meditate for 2 minutes. And then 3 minutes. And then 4 minutes. And then you can increase and increase and increase and increase. And then you'll get to a point where you can meditate 1 hour every day. And then you can do this with the gym. You can do this with anything that you want to improve in your life. And then you can progressively deload your bad habits. You can start with like maybe 20 hours of video games per week. And then you can go to 17. Then you can go to 16. Then 15. Then 14. Then 13. Then 12. Then 10. Then 8. 9. Bro. 8, 9, what? And then you can keep deloading the bad habits. You can keep overloading the good habits. You can over time increase the good habits, over time decrease the bad habits, and this is how you actually make progress in life. I swear to God, this is how I made progress, and this is how anyone I've taught has made progress. No one has ever quit video games fast. No one has ever quit porn fast. They have never. No one has ever done that. But no one has even got to 100 kg of bench press, right? In 1 week. Like that simply doesn't happen. That happens after weeks and weeks and months and years of practice, of progress, of blood, sweat and tears. Bro, I'm actually a rapper now. Basically, after all of that time, you make progress and then you get to the dream level. So my point to you is clear. You need to do the bare minimum. If you haven't meditated for the past 7 days, you can literally get on the floor, do 30 seconds of meditation, mindful, like close your eyes and literally like just focus on the breath and like please like take it really seriously, like 30 seconds, set a 30-second timer. This is your action step. Literally, no matter where you're at, no matter like what you're doing right now, you can do it, you can stop and you can literally sit down, meditate for 30 seconds. You've made progress. You haven't done that. That's more than you've done for the past 7 days. So you've made progress. And therefore, you got better. And you can carry this trend upwards. You can take this momentum. So that's the point that I'm trying to like really get into your head. Because this is the most important thing that I needed to hear. When I was first like getting onto this path of like self-growth and improvement and like all of these things, bro. That is what I needed to hear. I did not need to hear like, oh yeah, you need to meditate for 2 hours and then study for 3 hours and then work for 5 hours. Like I did not need to hear this shit, bro. I needed to hear the bare minimum. Because you think making like progress, like you think getting better today is doing 10 minutes of meditation when your capabilities are more like maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute. So that is the point that I want you to understand. And when you implement that strategy of momentum, of gaining small wins and then turning small wins into bigger wins, like imagine like a domino effect, right? You have a smaller domino and that falls into a bigger domino and then a bigger one and then a bigger one and it carries the trend upwards. You right now are not following that trend. You're following the opposite trend. You have a big domino and then a smaller one, and then a smaller one, and the smaller one, and it keeps going down and down and down, and you keep declining until you realize that your entire life is dictated by this one principle, and it's momentum. I swear, like, this is one of the most important concepts that I can ever tell you. If you really want to, like, change your life, it starts with the small wins. It starts with making your bed. It starts with these boring things of like meditating for 30 seconds because that is how you build up to the dream level. So I hope you understood that. Like, I hope you really take action. I hope you took the action step when I told you to sit down, meditate for 30 seconds. I bet it felt good if you did that. If you want to learn more about self-improvement and how to like improve your life, just subscribe. I'll give you the source. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Safe.